Hi, this is Kelly at the Meditation Self-Healing Center, and I've been wanting to come on and make a quick video to talk about Carol Essenmacher. Carol has recently began doing psychic mediumship readings here at the center, and they have been phenomenal. Okay, when I say phenomenal, I want to give you some of the examples of the things that she's been able to pick up, the messages coming from the other side. Every single session that she has had, she's a beginner. Every single session that she has been more than what the person could have expected. So here's some examples. And I am in the process of collecting testimonials, but until then, I wanted to try to help build her appointments and let people know like how much of the real deal she is. So one of the many things, is that she picked up on a car that was buried in the family's backyard and what color of car that was. And the husband was coming through and telling her to bring that up. And sure enough, the wife who was getting the reading, she is about 90, and she said he buried the car because he didn't want anyone to get hurt. It was a beautiful old like Lincoln, and he refused to sell it. It was a big thing. It was a big deal. Everybody wanted him to sell it, and he's like, nope, it's getting buried. Another car situation came up with a different person, and so this particular person had a lot of people coming through, and a lot of these people had passed away when she was very young. So at the time, she didn't understand the meaning, but Carol kept saying, there's a gold car with a tan top. Gold car with a tan top. It's older car. And she's like, I just don't know. I don't know. She's like, that's okay. We can come back to it, or process it, well, whatever. Well, come to find out, the client goes home and plays, because she recorded the session, plays the session with her parents, and come to find out, this client's grandma, who passed away when she was very young, never had a car, never had a car, never had a car. And then one day she went to a dealership with her son. Her whole life, never had a car. One day she goes to the dealership with her son, and her son buys a car, and the son says, why don't you get a car? You need to get a car. And she's like, oh no, I couldn't. And then he says to the salesperson, go find out the best deal you can give us on a car. When's the last, have you ever sold two cars to one person? Like, go see what you can do. And sure enough, they got like a super good deal. And she was like looking around. She was like, oh, that one, I could do that one. And she ended up buying that car. And it was a gold, like, boat car with the beige top. This woman loved that car. It meant the world to her. It was her only car that she ever owned, and can't make that stuff up. I recently had a family member come into town, and I didn't tell Carol any information about our family, but we've had a lot of losses in the last few years, and one of the losses was this family member's husband, and he came through so clear for her. And so I seen her the following day, and that's when I really got the story. And she said that she felt so different after hearing and getting everything validated that she needed from him, that he told her, like, quit crying, and I can't have peace where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at, but I can't have peace where I'm at when I see you so distraught. And she needed to hear that, and it just gives me goosebumps because it's ugh. But she said that it changed her, that she can't put into words the gift that getting that reading did for her to move forward and for her healing. And that's huge. I mean, huge, right? Then there's so many more. Besides cars, she's picked up on pets. She picked up on the car that my grandma and grandpa drove after their wedding, which was blue and white. So that's not like a common color. She picks up on things that are so like sentimental to that person, and or describes like the grandma that had the apron on. Well, come to find out, that's literally what she would be baking all the time in her kitchen with this apron on. So it's just spirit comes through and shows, you know, what to Carol, like what is going to validate and what is going to mean something to the family. So every single thing she said had meaning, and then describing people, how they look, and it's really amazing. So for me specifically, my grandpa came through immediately, and uh there's just no denying the things that were brought up. They're not things that someone can know or can just, you know, or guess. They're literally specific. I mean, she said like the first thing I'm coming up with, the first thing I'm seeing is horses. And I'm like, that's wild, because I've been dreaming about horses and I don't have a connection to horses until like the last couple months, but I've been dreaming about them. So it was just a validation. I mean, literally every single, she's had about 8 clients, and every single one has been over the moon about what they got. And so, yeah, I can't promise that that will happen, but sure would be worth giving it a shot, because so far her success rate is 100%. Um, she doesn't like to know anything at all about you. When you meet her, you will understand that she is the most down to earth, sweet person. And then she doesn't even say anything that you could even like search and find. She's saying stuff that only you know. Like my aunt had a friend that died of leukemia when she was like 18, never told her husband, never told her kids, like don't even think about it. She used to go visit her in the hospital because nobody did, and she came through in the reading and said, and she describes these people of how they look too, and she said, you know, she just wants to say thank you for spending that time with me in the hospital. It really meant a lot. Like that is like that is so awesome. So it just gives me chills. So one final thing, if you are interested in booking a session with Carol, she is going to have you prepare for the session in a pretty unique way. And I think that for me, I felt like it really assisted in the whole thing, the whole process. So basically, you're gonna just pray. You're gonna spend, you know, the day or the week prior to your appointment. Um, for me, it was like, you know, a day or two, but I made it a point to speak out loud. I was like, Grandpa, I'm having this psychic reading at 3:30 on Monday, and I want you to come and be a part of it and to come through, and I ask for you to join us and to talk about this and that. And this is what she'll have all of her clients that come in to do. But you want to speak out loud, you want to pray, and you want to say, you know, like for me, it was my grandpa. I mean, he's only been gone a year, less than a year. So whatever the specific is, the out loud invitation and that specific time and place, not that they don't know where to go already, But there is something very, very powerful with intention and setting a focus and verbalizing. I mean, if you're into spirituality at all, about like law of attraction and in prayer in general, like there's something very powerful to taking that time and setting that intention and not letting it just be a quick thought, but to actually spend a little bit of energy on it. Um, so she has got preparation um, instructions, and I adore her, and I think you will too. And if you're interested in doing a session with her, I know she has some openings available. I'm really excited to see where it goes because I'm excited for her. You know, before she walked into this building, the Meditation Self Healing Center, she actually dreamt about one of the rooms